Good evening. I'm back in the UK now. It's a bit wet and a bit dreary compared to the lovely sunny uh, climes of Los Angeles where I left. Last time I spoke to you, I was in the business lounge, wasn't I, at Los Angeles International Airport. One of my more critical correspondents said that I looked a little um, complacent and self-satisfied, which I thought was just a bit harsh. I mean, it had been a long day. I've been up since 4 o'clock. Lots of things had needed to happen, and they had happened. They slotted into place. It took a lot of planning, a lot of logistical planning, and I was relieved by the time I got to the airport and into the lounge that everything was sorted out. So complacent, self-satisfied, as I say, maybe just a bit harsh. Perhaps it would have been kinder to say relieved. Anyhow, um, I promised to share some thoughts with you about the ride. Uh, Positives first of all. Uh, the ride is absolutely spectacular. You go across, down rather, the Pacific coast, and it is magnificent. I mean, sights such as I have never seen. Absolutely beautiful. Very often you're high up, 5, 6, 700 feet up above the ocean, and it's just incredible. All these coves and bays and crashing waves and so forth. It really, really was lovely. So that's the reason you do these sorts of rides, as well as the experience of the ride itself and the you know achievement and the exercise and all of that kind of stuff. So that was really, really lovely. People as well. I met some really, really nice people. People that I knew, people that I ran into, and so often people who were kind and generous. Really, really nice. So I'm very, very grateful to them, and particularly the people that I stayed with who catered for my every need and were very tolerant. And it was just lovely to meet them. Some of them I'd known from years back, decades back, and it was great to reconnect with them and catch up with them. So thank you very much to them. The third thing that's the positive is just the riding itself. I like bicycle riding, and I like the kind of bicycle touring culture, and I like the achievement of setting myself a goal and doing it and achieving it and all that sort of stuff. So all the technicalities of it, the planning, the logistics, the mechanical bit, just everything. I enjoy all that sort of stuff. So it was great from that front as well. Downsides, the weather in part wasn't great. Up in the northwest, I think it's typical of the northwest. It's a bit like United Kingdom. Whatever comes in off the ocean, you get. Whatever comes in off the Pacific, you get there. So we had about a week of wet weather, and that wasn't great. But for the rest of the time, it was absolutely beautiful. The wind in the right direction, sunny and warm, not too hot, very pleasant indeed. Other downside was in places the traffic. Sometimes it was very dangerous, suicidal. I mean, the route in most parts takes you along the Pacific Coast Highway, which is an old highway, narrow old highway which hugs the coast. And there are there's very little room, lots of bends and lots of hills, and lots of traffic. I mean, less than there would have been in the high season, but even still, lots of traffic. Typically, kind of geriatric, myopic, dementia, early dementia retirees driving a huge, big recreational vehicle. I mean, huge recreational vehicle, pulling, a car or a boat or a trailer or something. And I don't know. I just don't know why they don't give you room or just don't wait. Trucks as well, and lorries. I think they just like to play chicken, try and scare you. So it was ridiculous. And on a couple of occasions, it got so bad I just headed inland, couldn't care where I went, just to get away from the road. By and large, though, once you're out of that, the roads are pretty safe with a large margin to them, safety margin, sometimes as wide as a lane of traffic, and you can tuck yourself in and feel quite secure. I was sorry also to lose my companion earlier on, for all sorts of different reasons. He decided that he was going to give up. So for the most part, except for a couple of days riding with Brett, the recumbent cyclist from Seattle. For the most part, I was by myself, but I don't mind that. I can do that. So those, I suppose, were the downsides of it. I'm back now. What will I do in the future? I don't know. I think it'll be a while before I go back to the US for a cycling ride. There are a couple of routes that I would like to do. I'd particularly like to do the Southern Tier, which takes you across the southwest and the south of the United States, across America, from say somewhere like Los Angeles or San Diego, across the deserts and the mountains, and across Texas to Florida. I might leave that for a couple of years and keep cycling in Europe for the next year or so and do some trips there. It was a long flight back, long day, and the jet lag has knocked me for six. My sleep pattern is still very much disrupted. As I say, the last time you saw me was in the lounge with a glass of champagne. Well, here I am with a glass of, not champagne, but just wine. As you can see, it's mostly been drunk already. And I'm content with myself and quite happy with things. And I'm glad that I did this trip, and I'm very grateful to everybody that I met along the way and made it the trip that it was. Thank you for following me and watching me and reading me and listening to me. I hope it hasn't been too excruciating. It's easier sometimes to do these vlogs than it is to tap out a blog. So I've taken to doing these. It just makes it very easy, really, and you get a sense of how I am and what's happening. I've lost a bit of weight, I think, especially around the middle. I think maybe 5-6 kilos, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how much that is in pounds, but quite a bit. Everybody's saying I'm looking reasonably slim. No doubt a bit of it'll go back on, but I shall try and keep myself in trim. Again, thanks for being with me. All the very best to you. Bye.